Now, on today's show, we're going to be looking at the 21st century workplace and how millennials are using video collaboration. Joining me in the studio today is Doug Pidduck. He's the founder and CEO of Intermedia Communications.
My entire career has been around video. I was an engineer to begin with and then moved over to marketing and sales, and I've been there ever since. 36% or 35% of the current UK workforce are what termed the millennials. And this was the first generation to grow up with a computer in their home. And then the latter ones were the first generation to grow up with the internet. And they're also the first generation coming into the workforce who had a better understanding of the communications technology than their older peers. As companies start to respond to the demands of the millennial generation, who want to have these ad hoc video meetings with their colleagues.
In these huddle rooms.
Yeah. There is, all the analysts agree, there's somewhere between 40 and 50 million meeting rooms around the world that could benefit from having video collaboration capability. You've heard me bang on about user experience, UX as we call it, and it's becoming very much a central pillar of audiovisual equipment and the audiovisual marketplace. And it's about making the user experience attractive enough for people to come and use it. So the camera is called the Pidduck 2. It's the second generation camera from the manufacturer. This is Altia Systems in Cupertino, California, and my company distributes the product in Europe. The reason that I started to distribute the camera is because I felt it really met a large number of needs that were not being met at the time. That is, good pictures, big picture quality in small rooms. The problem with small rooms, as we've said, is the camera field of view is designed for a much larger room. As you get closer to the camera, it loses the people in the room until you've got people talking to you from the far end and you can't even see them. So this camera overcomes that. One of the problems of having a wide field of view, a wide angle camera, you'll be familiar with the fisheye effect, where you get this barrel distortion, as it's called, around the uprights and so on, and it makes it unusable for conferencing. So what the manufacturer has done with Pidduck is it's created this camera with 3 camera elements, each with a smaller field of view, and it stitches those 3 streams together inside the camera. So it's got a lot of processors in here. It's got 9 processors. They're working really hard. This is different from the old dumb light gatherer of yesteryear, which was, the pan tilt zoom camera, which just gave you some video. So this is the future of cameras in meeting rooms. And this output is 4K UHD, high quality, high resolution. Why is that important? Well, you're not going to be sending that quality because most of the video conferencing systems or the video services don't support that. They will support a much lower resolution, but what that means is you can zoom in the memory with no physical movement of the camera, and the far end will see no change in the resolution as you zoom in up to 4 times. So this gives you a kind of optical zoom for free. But again, no physical moving parts, and because of that, it's very small. And it's important that it has a small footprint, because you can mount it like that underneath the bezel of a large screen, and it virtually disappears. So for those people who are intimidated or inhibited by cameras in a room, and many people still are, then it helps them because it kind of disappears in the metalwork of the display, and it's not in their face, and they can relax. And this is the key to the future of video, because it needs to remove those issues from the room. You don't need to go in and start worrying about technology. You need to go in and have your meeting, and you need to do that in an ad hoc way. And this moves that side of the video towards that experience, and changes in audio are also moving the audio away from big microphones in front of you, again intimidating, awkward, picking up scratches and noises and so on. So the video is being dealt with this. You know you're going to be in shot, and because you can put this quite close to you, it means that you're not wasting space between the camera and the table, and that is an expensive piece of real estate that you can save, and you can get more rooms in, more of these so-called huddle rooms. So they're the basic value out of the product.